Hey guys, and welcome back. In this episode, we're going to make a C-notch. So I should start off this video explaining why I've notched it. You would have seen when I did the shorty how low it was. The diff, we inverted the springs and turned them upside down just for the video, just to show you, how it's going to sit, or how I want it to sit, where the diff is actually hitting the chassis down. Well, there was a bit of chassis there, anyway. So the reason why I've decided to notch it as well, but this is something I want to take on a Sunday drive with my wife and just go through the mountains and just have a hell of a time, So that's why I'm going to this extent, because I did start that off with the Mad 3RZ project. I want it to be, an awesome, sort of track family, like a track car that I could drive around on the streets as well. But I ended up chasing horsepower figures, and then it turned into a freaking mess. So, it just blew out of proportion, and now it's that ridiculous to drive on the street. I'd lose my license in a matter of seconds. Not saying this wouldn't do that, but it's going to be a lot nicer car to drive. I don't know about the cams yet. I'm still deciding whether I put the stage 4s in the race car and put the stage 3s in this. That's just I've got to work out what I'm going to do when I do it. Because there's only half a mil lift difference, so I'll just see how they go. But anyway, I want to make this as comfortable as possible for me and my wife both to drive it. The plan is to have this finished for the 3RZ challenge in November, and I have changed the level a little bit. So I'm gonna push 20 psi through the supercharger. So I've ordered a sport real build kit through Goldbridge this week. So it's pistons, rods, a whole heap of stuff. And also head gasket, head studs, big fuel pump, 1650-16 injectors, all the stuff to run E85. So it's going to be a fun car. I'm aiming for around the 400 horsepower at the wheels. So I think 400 is quite generous. It might make 350, 400. That's sort of where it's going to sit and be comfortable. So that's my goal for the minute. But anyway, back to the C-notch. It had to be done to get the car to the right height. And to make it comfortable and to actually have it that low and not make it a bumpy, ridiculous ride, you have to have suspension travel. So that's why I went with the notch. So anyway, long story short, I notched it. And also, guys, don't go and just start cutting your chassis. Don't just weld stuff on and start cutting things off without consulting your engineer. Otherwise, you're just going to have a hell of a time once you've welded something on to try and rectify it if it needs to be fixed or upsized or upgraded to the engineer's wants or needs. So speak to your engineer before you touch it. Get them out. It costs $200 or whatever to get them out, to come out and say, look mate, I'm going to do this. Cut your notch out, show them, put it on the car, even tack it on, even position, and say, this is what I want to do, this is where I put the fall link, this is what I want to put here. And most of the time, they're going to go, that's great, I'd do this, and that's great. And that's it. They just, from there on in, you're on the right track and you know where you're going. That's how I did the Mad 3RZ project. And I paid for all the X-rays and all the stuff for the control arms and all that, and it didn't end up getting the engineering because I turned it into a track car. So anyway, long story short, we're gonna turn this into what I wanted to do with the Mad 3RZ project. So I still haven't got a project name for this, so if you guys want to chuck one in the comments section, that'd be great, and we'll pick out a project name. This is going to be, like I said, it's for me and my wife both to drive. She's going to be racing this at Throws Challenge. It's going to be painted black, supercharged, big cams. It's going to be ridiculous. So it's going to be cool. But anyway, let's not talking about the car. Let's talk about the C-notch. Let's watch this video. It's basically just a time lapse of how you put it together. And the reason why I did such a steep notch was because, quite simply, I don't have a lot of room. So I didn't want to impede the other gussets, the fish plates for the shorty, where I cut the chassis for the shorty. If I was going to notch it and do what I was going to do, like before, I probably wouldn't have cut the chassis in the middle. I probably would have just moved the notch forward. Would have been a little bit easier on me, but anyway, I like making things hard for myself. So anyway, guys, let's get right into it and check it on out. Always beaming, rag top, chrome pipes, low lights out of sight. Long weed, sold in, say it again, sold in. Make that money, throw it in. Booty bouncing, gone ahead. Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, Blue Medina, always beaming, rag top, chrome pipes, low lights out of sight. Long weed, sold in, say it again, sold in. Make that money, throw it in. Booty bouncing, gone ahead. Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, Blue Medina, always beaming, rag top, chrome pipes, low lights out of sight. Long weed, sold in, say it again, sold in. Make that money, throw it in. Booty bouncing, gone ahead. Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, Blue Medina, always beaming, rag top, chrome pipes, low lights out of sight. Long weed, sold in, say it again, sold in. Make that money, throw it in. Booty bouncing, gone ahead. Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, Blue Medina, always beaming, rag top, chrome pipes, blue lights out of sight. Long weed, sold in, say it again, sold in. Make that money, throw it in. Booty bouncing, gone ahead. So I'm just going to take a quick break from the trashy non-copyright music here. Now I'm taking all the unnecessary bracketry off, and also cutting all the little tabs and bits and brackets and stuff that I don't need. And you guys will have noticed I'm now wearing safety glasses and, you know, trying to provide you the best advice. You probably should wear gloves too, but I'm not wearing the gloves in this instance, nor long pants. But anyway, let's not focus on that. I'm gonna put some more music on in a minute, but yeah, I'm just gonna take a couple of breaks every now and again just to talk you guys through it. So another quick break here, guys. You can see I'm struggling to do this on my own. I kept dropping it and all sorts of things. So basically at this stage, I have grinded the chassis clean where I'm going to weld. And I've also marked out and centered everything where I wanted it. And now I'm going to go through and just tack everything where I'm happy that it's all in place. And stitch a few welds just to make sure I'm happy with what I've done where I've done it. There's also a whole heap of gussets and stuff. I'm not going to go into that because, again, that will shoot myself in the foot, and also upset a lot of other fabricators out there who do this for a living. So if you want to, it's one of those things, guys, I just can't give that information away. Anyway, it's just a long and lengthy process of going through and tacking and welding everything that needs to be welded, and making sure you have good penetration and you're welding at the right temperature, the amps are right, the bead looks good, because this is all going to be looked at by your engineer, so make sure it is Mickey Mouse. And this is now getting into the section where I cut the top and the bottom pieces, and all the gussets and stuff. So
Yet again, wearing safety glasses. Didn't have my workpiece clamped, but I'm gonna do that in a minute because I was being lazy. Um, Also, guys, don't be scared of a bit of hard work with a grinder. I've done this my whole life. I've freaking built so many things with just a grinder and a drill. Anything is achievable, so don't be scared of a bit of hard work and a couple of hours on the grinder. It will pay dividends. So yeah. Anyway, let's play some more tacky non-copyright music. standing there right now just thinking, what the hell have I done? It's just, you know, a snowball effect. You start doing one thing and then a million things later, you come up with something like this. I just deleted or cut out the factory spare tire crossmember, and now I'm just going to go through and just tidy up and weld out a few things and weld that base on the bottom there, so that when I finish what I'm doing, I can just put it on to the creeper and push the car around, so it's not a pain in the butt. Now, guys, I'm about to use a 9-inch grinder. Just a warning, guys, these things are banned in Australia on work sites for a good reason. You literally cannot use one on a building site anymore. They're that dangerous. People have died. People have lost hands, eyes, all sorts of horrible things. So please, guys, these things are incredibly dangerous. Even, with all the experience in the world, you can still really hurt yourself with one. So be very careful. Anyway, guys, that is a wrap. Thanks for tuning in. I hope everyone's doing really, really well, and we'll be back with another couple of videos very, real soon. Take care, guys.